Hey everybody, welcome to The Art of Ministry. I'm Pastor Dave, and in today's video I want to share something with you that over the last couple of years has really helped me organize and improve my pastoral care. So over the last couple of years, I've started organizing my approach to pastoral care around something I call ministry moments. Ministry happens in moments. Right? It's not constant because we are not constantly with other people. So especially from their perspective, ministry to them and with them happens in moments. A moment of prayer, a meeting, a worship service, visiting someone in the hospital. Ministry happens in brief, defining moments. A few years ago, I read a fantastic book called The Power of Moments by Chip and Dan Heath. I read a lot of their books. They're all really good and super helpful. And this one is about the power of moments. And the basic premise of the book is that our lives are defined by these relatively brief moments of extraordinary impact. So for example, if you go to Disneyland on vacation, most of your actual time is probably going to be spent waiting in line, waiting for parking, waiting to get food, waiting to get on a ride, to visit a Disney character, whatever. You're spending most of your time just mathematically waiting. But that's not how you remember the vacation, at least not if you liked it. What you remember are these defining moments, the actual ride, the actual photo with the character, the souvenir that you bought, and the smile on your kids' faces, right? Those defining moments are what define the experience for you. So I basically just took that idea and applied it to pastoral care. I started looking for and even trying to create these moments in people's lives that would not just be defined kind of generically, but that would be defined by the presence and work of Jesus in their life. That's the goal of ministry moments. It's to help people notice the presence and work of Jesus in their life. And really, that's what pastoral care is. That's what we're doing when we offer pastoral care to people. We are first paying attention ourselves as best we can to the presence and work of Jesus, and then helping them notice the presence and work of Jesus for themselves. And the underlying theological assumption here is that Jesus is present and at work. Right? We as Christians don't just ask, what would Jesus do, as if Jesus only lived a long time ago. We ask, what is Jesus doing right now? Because we believe that, yes, Jesus died and rose again, but he also ascended into heaven. He sits on the throne right now, where he is doing all sorts of things. The Bible describes it different ways. He's leading creation to its final goal. He's putting his enemies under his feet. He's reconciling all things to himself. In other words, Jesus is alive and at work right now, in this conversation, in this hospital room, in this meeting, in this worship service. And so pastoral care is about finding and creating these ministry moments where we help people notice the presence and work of Jesus. So what I try to do, and I involve our deacons in this, you can involve your deacons or congregational care team or whatever setup you have. What I try to do is look for moments in people's lives that are already loaded with meaning, and then infuse them with an awareness of the presence and work of Christ. Now, some of these moments, of course, are spontaneous, right? They happen unplanned, unexpected, sometimes unwanted, and we sort of respond to those moments. Although, even when we're responding to spontaneous moments, we can still have a kind of pre-planned response in place, a kind of scripted response to that moment. But then other moments can actually be created. With a little bit of thoughtfulness and preparation, we can help create moments in people's lives that are defined by the presence and work of Christ that would not otherwise have happened. So here are a few examples of some spontaneous ministry moments that I look for. The death of a loved one, of course, is an incredibly defining moment, and it's incredibly difficult. And so what I try and do with my deacons is, of course, respond with immediate care and compassion, visiting, praying, planning a memorial service, and everything that's involved in that. But then after the immediate care, we follow up with scheduled care. So for example, throughout the year, we might plan out when to send letters or to set up other visits with this person, 3 months out, 6 months out, 1 year out. We might mark the birthday or anniversary of the person that died, either directly to the grieving person, or sometimes we can even highlight that as part of a worship service, so that we're bringing the whole church into remembering this person who was part of our church family. So even though the death might be unplanned, the response to it is scripted out and just sort of ready to go when the time is needed. Another example might be if someone gets a promotion at work and they're happy about it, they're celebrating it, and you can take the occasion to pray for them, and pray for them in a way that helps them pay attention to the fact that God might be involved in this promotion. Not just blessing them and answering their prayers, but maybe giving them a challenge. Maybe opening up a new opportunity that they haven't even considered yet, and you can sort of pray that blessing over them, and it helps them pay attention to the fact that Jesus might be doing something here that they otherwise may not have noticed. If a visitor comes to your church, you might have a sort of onboarding process, right? A scripted set of responses, a couple of emails that go out to them after they visit for the first time, or something like that. And as you do that, you might take the time to mention to them that even if they never come back to your church, you believe that the one Sunday they spent worshiping with you, God was saying something to them. God was at work in them doing who knows what. You don't know what, maybe they don't know what, but you're bringing that to their attention so that they can think about it and pray about it. And you've just turned church shopping into a genuine ministry moment. One of the most basic examples of this is simply to pray for people and then let them know that you prayed for them. With a text, an email, a call, or a card, pray for them and then let them know you prayed for them, and even share with them the basic content of your prayer. And so all of a sudden, out of the blue, on a random day, they know that their pastor prayed for them. They know what their pastor prayed for them. And now, again, they are thinking of the presence and work of Jesus in their life. So those are some spontaneous examples of ministry moments, but you can also plan ministry moments. You can try to create ministry moments that otherwise would not happen. And this is what I try to do with our deacons all the time. One example is to celebrate membership anniversaries. If your church keeps track of active members, then look through that list and make a calendar of when those membership anniversaries are, the anniversary of when they joined the church, and find a way to mark that occasion. Celebrate 5 years, 10 years, 50 years as a member of this church. And if you think they'd be comfortable with it, do it publicly. That's a great way to turn what might just seem like ordinary, boring church membership into a ministry moment, something they can reflect on and think about how Jesus has been involved in it. Or maybe in addition to sending birthday cards or anniversary cards, you could send a card on the anniversary of their baptism. That might require a little bit of research on your part, but think about it. To get a card from someone marking the anniversary of your baptism, which you probably don't even remember the anniversary of your own baptism, what a meaningful and profound thing for you to mark over the course of a year the day they were baptized and remind them who they are in Christ. Nobody else is doing that for them, so it's a great opportunity for you. You can also take time to mark any difficult anniversaries that someone might have in their life. Earlier, I mentioned with a spontaneous event, if a loved one dies, you can mark the occasion 3 months out, 6 months out, and then 1 year out, maybe the first holiday without their loved one or something like that. But even if the death didn't happen recently, you can take time to get to know the people in your church and figure out the days on the calendar when it might be hard for them to remember the anniversary of a significant loss. And on those occasions, just a simple card or a text saying, "Hey, I know this is a difficult day for you. I'm praying for you." I've found that to be incredibly meaningful for people. That way they know that someone else remembers their loved one, somebody else remembers that it's a hard day for them. And again, it helps sort of punctuate that difficult day with the presence of God that they might not otherwise be as aware of. Or maybe you have some high school graduates that are going off to college, and at the end of the spring semester you do kind of a service celebrating them and kind of sending them off. Well, what about sending them care packages from your church every 3 months during their first year in college? Studies show that the first year of college is when students are most likely to drop out of church attendance and maybe even the Christian faith altogether. And so what a great opportunity to create moments where you sort of reconnect with them and remind them that they're part of this church family, which is really just a way of reminding them that they belong to God and that that's who they really are. So these spontaneous and planned ministry moments are exactly the kind of thing that I try to do with my pastoral care, and I try to involve my deacons in doing the same thing. We've structured our deacons' meetings around this idea, so that instead of just talking about the logistics of church life, we take time to look over our membership list, we pray for everybody on that list, and we all talk together and look for ministry moments. Because I may not know every difficult anniversary or meaningful moment in someone's life, but somebody else who knows them better might. And so we can share that together and create a kind of calendar each month of ministry moments where we can help people become more aware of the presence and work of Christ than they would otherwise be. It has absolutely transformed and dramatically improved our pastoral care as a group and mine as a pastor. All right, I hope you liked this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Be sure to hit like, subscribe to the channel, click the bell to turn on notifications, and leave me a comment and let me know about a ministry moment in your own life when somebody else maybe helped you become more aware of the presence and work of Jesus. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.